Hey guys, what's up? My name is Mercedes Michelle. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about working two jobs. Yes, as a single parent, as a bonus, just to throw that in there so you can get an idea of what life is like for me while working two jobs. Now, I no longer work two jobs simply because I felt like it was time for me to let them go just for my sanity, but also because it was time. And I am just going to get into this subject. So I worked two jobs for a year and almost 8 months. Don't quote me on that, but it was like a year. Was it a year? Hold on. Was it a year or 2 years? Okay, yeah. Whatever. Yes. So I worked two jobs for a good amount of time, you guys. And first, it was strictly because of money and because I had goals. I wanted to pay off debt. I wanted to buy a home. I was saving for a down payment. I was saving just to save. And of course, I was paying off debt. So working two jobs just gave me the ability to handle those things quicker. So that is why I was working two jobs. I wanted to pay off debt, I wanted to be a homeowner, and I wanted to save money. I wanted to do all of these things, but I knew that I could not do it on just a single income. So I went into grind mode. I went into hustle mode. I was doing everything I could possibly do to reach my goals. And that meant I was working two jobs and I was not living life. I was in the house. I worked 7 days a week. I worked 28 hours to, I worked 20 to 28 hours on my part-time job, and of course full-time I was working 40 hours, and it was tough. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys it was easy, because there was days where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, why am I doing this? It's draining, I'm exhausted, I don't have time to be a parent, I'm being a bad parent, I'm not doing enough. But what I had to tell myself first and foremost is my daughter is young and I'm doing this to benefit her. I'm doing this to make our lives better, and it's better than, you know, just being out here wild and you know, just being careless. I had to look at it like that because I used to beat myself up, you guys. I didn't want to play Barbies. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sleep and relax anytime I got off work, and I felt like it was affecting me and my daughter's relationship, and I just didn't like it. But I feel like now that I'm out of it, I could understand that it really wasn't. And I say that because I can be very hard on myself, and I feel like a lot of us are very hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up more than anyone else could possibly beat us up. I'm one of those people who are extremely hard on myself. And it's just because, of course, I want better and I want more out of life. So I have to be 10 times harder on myself. Sometimes you can cut yourself some slack, but I don't understand what slack is sometimes. But let's get into the good. Let's get into the good things about working two jobs. So working two jobs, of course, money. Now, all money is not good money, but when it's coming in and it's hitting your bank account, you know, all money looks like good money to me. But yes, the money was good. I was making some money, and within making that money, I was being smart with that money. So that was even better. Sometimes we make money and we don't have anything to show for it, and it's like, why am I even working two jobs? I don't have anything to show for it. But in my case, my bank accounts looked good. I was feeling good. My debt was going down. I was getting closer and closer to purchasing my home. So working two jobs felt good then. But once you start to accomplish those goals that you set in the beginning, it gets harder and harder to continue working those jobs. first and foremost, I was only supposed to work my part-time job for 6 months, and I ended up staying there a year and 6 months plus. So you can kind of see where I went wrong. I don't think you should do it long term. I personally just don't believe you should work yourself to death. I don't think you should work yourself like a slave. I feel like you should go into grind mode, you know, get that adrenaline pumping, get those goals crushed, and then let it go. Don't become greedy, don't become comfortable, or I mean, you'll never be comfortable working two jobs, honey. You're gonna be tired, exhausted. But don't just get in the mindset of spending that two income, spending like you will always have two incomes. I mean, you can always increase your income, and that's the goal for me now. Like, how am I going to work to increase my income without having to work so hard? That should always be the goal. It shouldn't be working 2 to 3 to 4 jobs. You should be wanting 2 to 3 to 4 incomes where it's passive and it's coming in like clockwork, but you're not having to do too much. That's the goal, not 2 to 3 jobs, okay? Yeah, I just don't feel like working 2 jobs is something that you should do long term. It should be a short term goal. You meet your goal and you let it go, because it can be exhausting. It can be mentally draining on anyone, you know. The first couple of months or even first year, you're good. The money is enough to keep you happy and to keep you content with working those 2 jobs. But once you realize that money isn't everything and your sanity, your mental health is more important, you'll start to become more discouraged when it's time to clock in. You'll start to be more depressed when it's time to clock in, and you'll just be willingly ready to call in when it's time to clock in. Once you start feeling all of that, it's really time to readjust, reevaluate your decisions, and let that job go. Let that income go. In the meantime, while you're working and you have that adrenaline, you have the ability to seek and research other ways to make money, I would definitely look into that. And free time is going to be slim to none for someone like myself, who's a mother and who was working 2 jobs. I did not have any time for myself. My free time consists of doing things with my child, and I started to see a lot of things affect my daughter. Like, her learning started to be affected because we weren't learning as much at home, so she was struggling more at school. We weren't going out like on play days like we normally would prior to me picking up 2 jobs. We would, you know, do something here and there, just to explore and get out and see new things. That's what we did. That was our thing. And that eventually stopped when I was working 2 jobs. A lot of things contributed to me just finally saying, okay, enough is enough. I need to be more present mentally, physically, because it's now affecting things that I love. It's affecting my daughter. It's affecting me. I have to let it go. And once you get to that point, you have to be willing to let the second job go. I know the money's good. I know it's lovely sitting in your bank account, but your mental health, your physical health, the people around you are so important. And I feel like COVID is what really pushed me to realize that, because I probably could have continued to work 2 jobs and not even been aware of exactly how it's being affected. But COVID slowed down the world, and it really made me realize life is short. And money is money. Money is going to always be there. There's so much money in this world to be made that I don't have to work myself to death to make that money. There's so many different avenues. There's so much going on, so much technology where I can make some money. So I let it go. And I'm not saying that you have to let it go, because it was hard for me to let that money go. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that was easy. But I knew that it was for the better. It was best for me to let that second income go. And you guys always ask me, how did you balance, you know, being a mom and working 2 jobs? I didn't. I did not. And I realized that as it started to, you know, get towards the end, when my adrenaline was no longer pumping, that money that was coming in was no longer exciting me. That's when I started to realize, okay, well, this isn't working out. This is not going right. This shouldn't be like this. What's going on with Mariah? It affected all of that. And once I see, like, really started to see how it was affecting all of that around me, that is when I said I have to let it go. And I feel like that's for anyone. Like, once you see that your world is not functioning and operating as it should be, there's steps that need to be taken. Either you need to take some steps back or you need to take some steps forward, but you need to, you know, get this back in line. And that's what I had to do. I enjoyed the money. I enjoyed, you know, working those 2 jobs at that time because it helped me get to where I needed to be. It benefited me so much, you know. I feel like if it's for a short term where you can just go into grind mode and you can get it done, you can be mentally prepared to basically cut off any socialization that you think you have, any extracurricular activities, any friend outings. All of that has to cease because you're going to be in grind mode. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you can pick it back up once you're at your goal. Once you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish, all of that other stuff can be picked back up. But if it's affecting important things like your kids, your mental, then you really have to stop and evaluate quicker than maybe, oh, I can't go out and have drinks with my friends because I gotta work in the morning. Okay, that's life. Sacrifice. You know, that's what I would tell you. But I don't know, I don't want this video to be your typical working 2 jobs, giving you guys tips. I have no tips, you guys, because it's all a mental thing. It really is. You have to mentally prepare yourself for that journey. It's just like any other journey, going on a health journey, going on a diet, going on, you know, a spiritual journey. It is like any other journey. You have to mentally prepare yourself for it because it's going to be hard times. It's going to be times where you may want to quit sooner than, you know, you need to. Maybe you are wanting to quit before you even reach your goal because it's mentally hard and you did not prepare. You have to prepare for it. You have to set your goals and understand why you're working 2 jobs and make sure you actually see the work, you see it benefiting you. If you're working 2 jobs and you're just working to drink, working to smoke, working to go out, that stuff is not going to make you happy. It's not going to help you. It's not going to benefit you. You're not going to want to keep doing it. But if you have a bigger goal, you have a business you want to start, you have a baby you want to have, you have a home you want to purchase, those are big things in your life that will motivate you to tackle both of those jobs and get through both of those jobs every single day. Working 7 days a week is tough. Having no days off is tough on anyone. Your body, your mental, it's hard. So you have to prepare for it. You have to. But I say do it, but do it short term. Don't make it a long-term goal for yourself. Don't always feel like you have to work 2 jobs for the rest of your life. That's not how to live at all. So I 100% support people working 2 jobs temporarily, but not long term. And I am speaking from experience. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you a little insight on how I felt my journey through working 2 jobs. And at the end of the day, hopefully you find some useful information. But I will see you guys in another video. I'm back in the better. Bye guys.